So this will be just a general overview because one, I just learned it. And two, there's a lot of complexity to the stuff involved. Because you could just use it and not care on how it's built, but because we're here to talk about Python, understand all the complexities in it, this is what we're going to do. Oh, that does not belong there. I forgot to delete some slides. Okay. So booting up with PyScript. We're going to be cloning Adam. So are you okay with people cloning this after all?
I can make it public. I left, it's got copy paste stuff. So maybe I'll just leave it up for a few days, but you know what I mean? I put stuff in it that's not, that I didn't make and I didn't bother to
do a tribute.
Yeah, but I'll click it to share for now and then we can take it off later.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I'm going to clone it anyways.
Just give me a
So
second.
I'm going to reference the examples that Adam put together that are referenced from other sources, but that's just a condensed version of that. Now, PyScript it's a little odd in that it's not quite clear what distinguishes PyScript from the other layered components. So what I'm understanding is PyScript provides DOM elements in order for you to neatly put in Python alongside things like JavaScript and CSS and everything else. And of course, in order for that to even run, is you have to put Pyodide underneath. Now, Pyodide is not the only runtime of Python in the browser. There are others. I think, what's it called? Brython is a JavaScript only composition of Python for the browser. Yes. So I haven't played with that, but there's others. But Pyodide seems to be the most feature complete.
Imagine it's more performing too.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, well, at least with the WASM stuff, yeah,
Right.
I would say so. And
or at least has the potential of being.
Yeah, I think your load times are your latent aspect here. Mscripton. I've never actually said the word out loud. So Mscripton is a tool set that is designed to create executable code for the WebAssembly or WASM layer. We'll talk a little bit about that.
I think it probably comes from the JavaScript standard. What is that? ECMA?
ECMAScript, yeah.
I wonder if it's.
Oh, good one. Yes. Yep. The M in ECMA.
Oh, I thought it was a play on embiggen, but maybe probably
maybe.
not.
I don't know. It could be. Yep.
Okay.
It could go either way. We'll have to. Here, I'll look it up while you guys are talking.
There you go. So the whole thing is based on WebAssembly as your runtime. And let's see. I'll bring up this link. This is a reference that Adam found. A good 5-minute read. Now, we won't go through it, but if you want to, this link is there at some point. Okay. How's my battery doing? Okay.
If you need power, I have power.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh yeah, let's talk a little bit about WebAssembly. I think it's important to go through all the layers, even in some technical sense, like, can we build a small WebAssembly program? I mean, granted, we're not talking about PyScript yet, but sometimes the fundamentals are important before we get to the fun stuff. But then again, I also think this is fun stuff. It's all fun stuff. So WebAssembly, or WASM, is a binary instruction format for a stack-based virtual machine. Oh, thanks a lot. Wonderful. WASM is designed as a portable compilation target for programming languages, enabling deployment on the web for client and server applications. It's a fancy way of saying that you have a virtual machine running in your browser that's a standard, and you can compile programs to run on it. Now, it's not like running Windows or Mac OS or something, but the fundamentals underneath are the same. You have instruction sets and whatnot. And you can go to this page and learn more about it. And actually, let's do that. So the thing I wanted to quickly kind of show off, let's see what that can do for us. And I'm wondering if this is going to work with my terminal not behaving. Let's see if that resets it. So how does this work? Well, WebAssembly, you basically tell your browser by way of whatever server you're going to download a binary payload. You're downloading a program. And instead of running it on your computer, it runs it right on the browser. So there's certain things that need to be set up. Now, the WebAssembly group here, they clearly lay out the four major browser engines they're supporting WebAssembly and lay out a bunch of languages you could use. Rust is the popular language du jour, having all sorts of things that make it better than C for sure. Probably C++, I'll let you know when I learn it. C#, F#, and a bunch of other languages you might be interested in. So I'm going to play around real quick. We'll take a very simple hello world example for C. Let's see if we can build this. So mscripting is important here. This is how we're going to get stuff on there. So it's a good thing this was developed along with the standard. And let's see if I can bring up text editor. Sure. First, we need to compile. So I'm going to create a little C program. So I don't know how familiar people are with the C language, but it's not too dissimilar from a typical procedural imperative language like, say, Python. We have a main function. We have a print function that just prints out hello world and a new line at the end and a return code of 0. We have includes, which are analogous to Python's import. And this brings in standard input-output functions, in this case, like print. We're going to save this very simple program. Call this hello world.c, and that's done. In order to compile this for the browser, we need to install the what do you call the thing? Mscripting. So I'm not even sure where that is, and I've never done this before. Let's try it. Mscripting. Searching. That's done. It's taking a long time. Mscripting. Maybe if I know the name of it. Oops, spell it right. Yes, literally what it is. Okay. There you go. Thank you for taking your time. So your favorite package manager. Oh, see, it keeps doing this now. I don't know why. Install Mscripting. I'm going to try that. Hopefully it doesn't blow up on me. And let's see if this works. If not, this will be a very short demo. This is basically installing a compiler suite. So if you're familiar with things like GCC and the LLVM suite, this utilizes. I think it's hooked into LLVM specifically. Yeah.
How did you do this without having this installed already?
Well, do which part?
Like prepare this presentation.
Oh, I didn't. This is my first time doing it.
Okay.
That's the fun part. Yeah. So this is I didn't have time.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Yeah. Oh, see, it's auto updating. I clearly didn't do this yet. And while that's running, let's take a look and see what else we can say about this. So we're going to compile a hello world.c into an output, in this case, an HTML file, which is completely confusing to most people because HTML is not code, right? It's not object code. It's text, declarative text. So we'll run it and see what it does. But it will create in there, along with the HTML file, a JS file and a WASM file. And that is our object code. And then we can run the example pretty easily. And that'll set us, give us the basis, the foundations on which we're going to be building. Oh, come on. Yeah, this has been complaining. I don't know what's triggering. I don't think I'm not running the beta on here. This is Monterey. And then we'll run it. So you're not excused from using, even if they consider it a problem, it's probably a benefit, HTML and CSS and even JavaScript along with code that runs in WebAssembly. So with using PyScript, even Pyodide, you get the best of all of it. Now, let me ask you, Adam, maybe others, if you're thinking about putting Python code in your browser and running it, what are some disadvantages? Maybe not too dissimilar from normal Python,
Right.
right? You have your code is wide open.
Right.
Right, it's inspectable. So I'm not sure what you can do.
Well, so is JavaScript.
Exactly,
I
yeah.
think it's an alternative to using JavaScript.
Yeah, so
But the thing is, nobody wants to do JavaScript anyways.
Right.
So,
Oh.
you know, who cares about putting out?
Right. Fair. All those callbacks.
and even the executable is still subject to you know, decompilation and debugging, which you would want anyways. So while this still chugs along, let's talk about the other parts of this and we'll come back. So mscripting and WebAssembly are pretty much the same thing in this regard. We're going to consider them the same thing. We can't have one without the others. Mscripting is really what makes it easy for us to get where we are today. And mscripting, has a runtime in addition to a compiler. So if you're familiar with how things work with shared libraries and dynamic libraries you would use on most operating systems, you need to have similar items that run within the WebAssembly executable context. And you can see here, mscripting implements a simple media direct media layer API, a bunch of other things for OpenGL. So you can do some really fun stuff. What stuff is that yet? Not sure. I mean, I've seen some good examples so far. But you can really run code with minimal changes if you wish to port existing C code or whatever else you're using in with mscripting. This is not something we're going to worry about. I mean, the runtime is implied when you import it into your loaded HTML document.
I wonder how they do the drawing. Like, do they treat the browser window just like any other screen?
I think it's just canvas drawing,
Yeah.
like we normally do.
Like,
Yeah.
Be a normal.
I'll show you the one 3D example, which is pretty neat. It's Python code, and the actual 3D stuff is done through JavaScript.
Oh,
So you have proxy objects between Python and JavaScript, and they can, you know, do what they need to do in harmony. Okay,
I guess it wouldn't be so much different than running like a C library from Python.
Yeah, I would say, yeah. Good point. Installing, pouring, almost there. Okay. And Pyodide, or not, yeah, Pyodide. Adam, did we decide on how to pronounce that?
I think that's right.
Pyodide. What is it? So if you have a runtime, okay, clang, go away. You have WebAssembly, you have your virtual machine, you have libraries that provide your, you know, effectively your interface to the virtual machine by way of like system calls and other libraries for IO and so on. You need something to run on it. So there's no operating system that I'm aware of inside WebAssembly. You just run your code. And that code in this case here would be executing Python directly. And Pyodide is a port of CPython using mscripting as the bridge.
The way that I've heard it described is the browser is the OS.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it is providing the IO and everything else. Yeah. Now, what I didn't get to play around with is how to install packages. And Adam, do you have any insight on that? With PyODI?
With Py, well, no, just in the PyScript. That's all I've looked at. Just with the
Okay.
environment setting.
So like the requirements, the outside libraries.
Yeah, it's a little funny because you'll see that in a minute when you import a library. Some of it's built in, like you got some of the data science packages, NumPy,
Okay.
Pandas, and
Interesting.
Matplotlib. And you use them by using a tag block,
Mhm.
PyEnv, I think it is. And you just kind of lay out what you intend to import, and then it
Okay.
becomes available.
I wonder if it basically needs to just be like, if you have to install from storage, if it doesn't exist. Like, yeah, it has to be basically compiled for PyODI or for the encrypted
Mhm.
context.
Yeah, that would be the case if it's a C extension for
Yeah.
Python that has any C components
But
or otherwise.
because you have the line here that the C extensions have been ported. When I see ported, I think someone has to do some rewriting. But is that it? Is it just recompiling or is it?
From my understanding, it's minor changes are needed in order to have it be compatible with the interfaces of Unscripted. So like in one example here. So right down here, the browser main loop. Browser event model uses cooperative multitasking. So Josh pointed out, the browser is the operating system and it's using cooperative multitasking. If you
Preemptive.
instead of preemptive. Most operating systems these days use preemptive multitasking. If you remember, what's that?
I don't know. I've never heard those terms.
Oh, so preemptive multitasking, you're time slicing. So the kernel is saying you get so many milliseconds to run.
Okay.
Then it puts it to sleep, runs the next process, puts it to sleep, and so on. And if you have multiple processors, those processors are time slicing and preemptively multitasking all of them. Cooperative, your program gets full control, and it's up to your program to give up the processor.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, the original Mac OS was like that. It was one of the biggest issues with, back in the 80s and 90s. The Mac was preemptive, it was cooperative multitasking. Windows NT was preemptive, right? And all that stuff. So having the browser be cooperative, that's probably why you have like JavaScript hanging your browser every once in a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But you can see here, there's some minor changes. So there's an if def here. So if you're in script in, then you kind of like do this thing here, whatever that is for some animation it's trying to do. Otherwise, you can do your normal loop for this. So it's dealing with some of the asynchronicity and specialized interface for starting your code. But for the most part, sounds like there's very little that needs to be done otherwise. But if your code is pure Python, then it should just be loadable and runnable. And on top of it, of course, is the foreign function interface, the FFI, that allows Python to talk with JavaScript and let your objects talk. And one nice example will show that off. Okay, where are we with this?
I can see that being a real big mess of somebody writing an application. Oh, this is in JavaScript. This is in C. This is in Python.
What's that XKCD? You got one standard, another
Yeah,
that came out with
yeah.
another, now you got full standards. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's try PyODI first. This one, well, it's still installing. Oh, it just finished and it failed. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, so something's borked with my terminal. So thankfully, because we're doing everything in the browser,
Look at that.
you don't really need,
You don't actually need
you
it.
don't need the terminal. So I'm futzing over there for no reason. Okay, so what I just did,
Anyone can go to pyodai.org.
Yeah, and you get it.
absolutely. So like if I import, let's say math, what does it say math is built in? Okay.
But I wonder what the source of this website looks like. Like, is this?
Mm-hmm. No, that's a great question. So let's take a peek. Oh, shoot, I use Firefox normally. So where's the... Okay. I'm going to make this full screen. So in this top half right here, just to be clear for our viewers at home, this is the full out Python REPL version 3.10.2 running in the browser. That's it. It's it's
I'll
running.
believe it when I see the source. All I see is a bunch of JavaScript right now. I don't know if that-
That's right. It's misleading. It's misleading. I agree. Let's bring this up. So let's take a look and see what composes this. You do have the HTML to structure something here. That structure would be loading up things like jQuery, jQuery terminal, Unix formatting. So there's, yeah, there's a. Adam, did they say it's still an early alpha?
They said it's very alpha, yeah. But it looks like a JavaScript
Very
implementation
alpha.
of Python, right?
Would you expect to see Python code here, or would you expect to see something that like in scripted or something converted into, nothing's getting converted to HTML and JavaScript, right? Like, so, like, would you ever?
This is, so think of this as your UI definition. Strictly your UI definition.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So what I think it's doing is setting up the sort of the terminal canvas.
Yeah.
That the Python REPL is going to draw to. So
Okay.
the various things like curses based read line.
all right.
That's what I suspect. I haven't looked at it too closely, but.
But would we ever see Python code in here?
You're right. Hold on, I'll get to it.
Okay.
Yeah. I got you. Don't worry. But but you make a good point. This is sort of the problem with, not problem, but sort of the technical
browser.
nature of Pyodide.
Yeah.
Is that the code, Python code you want is embedded in JavaScript, as far as I've seen how to
Yeah,
use it.
right.
Here's a scripting tag.
Probably because it's not quite a first class citizen.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
but.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also like the WASM, whatever, you're downloading binaries and it's running binaries, so it doesn't actually have, there is no.
But there's still like your Python code is run against those binaries.
Oh.
So it leverage
Okay,
to run Python, you're leveraging new binaries
okay,
that are based on WASM.
so when you. Let me know if I'm going ahead, but.
Yeah, no.
So when you're like building a Python, a Pyodide front end app, is there like a bundle and minify command and it gets all your Python into one long string, like you get with
Yeah,
Java?
I don't know what that workload.
I did hear that one of the problems with Pyodide, it's like a 4 megabyte download. So there was like a good amount of time at home. Just,
Well, with JavaScript, it just runs natively.
Mhm.
And so until
But that's the pitch, this is native.
it's native, but it has a lot of layers.
Yeah, okay,
You
So-
have to add a lot of layers to get to that native.
yeah. So we have the display context. If you think of like X11, Xorg,
Yeah,
Wayland, whatever, and that's creating the display semantics for your apps to draw to and to read input and so forth. That's what all the JavaScript is handling. It's really just now the glorified language used to handle process IO, like standard in, standard out, standard error, and talk back and forth between the computational context of the WebAssembly thingy and whatever's showing up on the user's front end of the browser. So yeah, this thing here, this must be this terminal thing from jQuery, which is okay, neat. Terminal min. And then where is Pyodide, right? Here's
Right there.
Pyodide right there,
There you go.
right? And how big is Pyodide? Network, does that tell me?
Should Pyodide, like that.
no, that's something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't tell me the
sizes
size.
there.
You scroll, if you go back to it, you just gotta scroll to the right.
Was it?
When you clicked Pyodide, it showed size. Oh, maybe it's there.
Oh, we did? Where's that?
Down
When
the
you
bottom.
when you clicked Pyodide, I thought it showed sizes, but
And transfer site, those are, oh yeah, oh, but they're blank though.
click
Oh.
Pyodide on the left.
Yeah, reload.
You didn't have
Reload
it.
with this open.
Let me reload.
There you go.
Yeah, you see that? Look
Ah.
at that. Sorry, Adam, did I cut you off? What were you saying?
No. You found it.
Okay. So Pyodide Pyodide JS loads, which itself is a bootstrap for a bunch of other things. There's a tar file of all things in here, ASM data, and there's the WASM file itself, which you got 3 megs in size.
Yep.
Distutils.tar. So it's basically installing Python on the fly
Yep.
in your browser, which makes sense because
Okay.
how else is it going to get there? Nothing is server side except for the file hosting. Nothing's executed remotely,
Just like that.
just, just like JavaScript. Are we solving a problem here or making a new one?
Yes. The answer is yes.
Let's see. Okay. So,
But think of it, if there was only one programming language for an OS.
yeah,
That.
we used to be using BASIC.
Yeah.
Right, we'd still be using BASIC.
Mhm.
The different languages solve different problems.
Now, Dylan wants to know, where's the Python code? So let's get past the CSS, could change all this later if you wanted. There's the body tag. Here we are. There is a script tag, bunch of JavaScript, and then somewhere in here is embedded
Right there.
literal Python code that is just passed as a literal string to this run Python JavaScript function.
So this would be, in my mind, this is generated. This in an application context, if you're writing a Python application, this is all boilerplate that would be generated and your Python code would be injected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there, yeah, okay. Never mind.
And, let's see what Safari has for debugging. Can we inspect?
Yeah, like
storage,
runtime debugging will be interesting.
Yeah. Sources, console, WASM, data. I mean, you can set breakpoints, but I don't see where. Doesn't even show the WASM file in here. Not that oh, here it is, right up here.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know what facilities in this particular case Safari has for working with that stuff. Console. Yeah, like I said, I'm usually a Firefox guy, so this is not my typical. But it works in Safari.
Look, it says Python initialization complete.
Oh, yeah, there it is. From PyDI to ASM.js. Loading
Right.
distutils. Yeah, so it's loading, like what's in distutils? I always forget. Is it just like set up and all that? Is it installing pip? Oh, it's deprecated, whatever it is. Yep, for package installation. So I can do anything I need to do here, all right? Foo. No. And hello world. Nothing too fancy. Hello world. Okay. And import pip. Is that in here? No. Oh, that did something. Yeah. Is pip inside setup tools? I can't remember.
I think so.
I don't know, well, I don't know, but whatever it is. It's nuts.
For sure.
Okay. Importing pip. Just want importing running pip inside REPL. Whatever. Does that work?
That's not that, that's.
Yeah, it's but it's the same principle though,
Yeah.
because it's a web-based Python interpreter. So I imagine it's pretty similar. Oh, pip terminal. Yeah, we'll have that.
Okay.
I forgot how you do it, but there's a way to bring in pip.
Okay.
I have it in my Python. Do I have it? Not on this machine. Yeah, you're unhelpful. So there's a Python RC file. I have it in here. I do. Okay. And let's see. This is the same one. Oh, here we go. Oh no, I literally call pip through
Oh.
as a sub process. That's not what I wanted. Okay.
Well, why don't we, let's open up some process.
Well, okay, no, that's a cool idea.
Can you use subprocess?
Like, what else is there? That's the wrong terminal, but whatever. Green is cool.
Oh, not in criminal, in the.
Oh, no, I got to bring back my output from the file.
Oh,
Copy that. So import. Bloop, bloop. Okay, import sub process. And
it's gonna say if not.
I'm curious, what happens if you do an LS? What files are there?
it's not implemented.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because
Because it's all in the system. now, right? And so the system in this context is the browser.
right.
So it's not gonna have an implementation for.
But what it like, what does IO give you?
What does IO give you?
Like, if we try to read files, we try to read from the file system,
Right,
Yeah.
what do you see?
So process.
but I think those are,
It's sandboxed. It has
Yeah.
to be sandboxed.
no, I know,
But
but
what do you see?
yeah, but I'm guessing it's gonna be not implemented.
Maybe.
Like, but you don't even need to do some process. Like you can do,
Forgot your parentheses there, I think.
Oh, yeah, you got square brackets.
IPython well. There we go. Function implemented.
No.
I just took the error that, oh, it doesn't work.
like, can you import OS? And like, what are some of the things under
Yeah.
OS?
Mhm. What can we do under OS?
Yeah.
Uname is a good one.
Huh?
Okay, that returns,
That's a good one.
yeah. Okay, what else can we return or call?
You have lister?
I'm
Oh,
interested
system.
in like what, like if we do a system list of files.
Ooh, -1. Okay. So there's no reason to have any binaries on here.
Right.
You
Other
got
than
OS
Py-
walk. You can
I'm
do
sorry?
walk.
Oh, walk. How do we use walk?
You just give it the directory and then I think it'll, yeah. Oh, yeah, you got to do it. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, look at that. So there is a file system interface as you would expect.
Whoa.
Mhm.
All right, now let's read each one, print them out. I mean, are these,
Could call on walk. That was
yeah,
it.
So that answers the question.
So under lib,
You got that. It's basically a Unix
mhm. Oh, there's
file
a
system.
home directory.
Home directory, yeah.
There's dev. I mean, there are some
I
POSIX
wonder
stuff that
where
you need in
it's-
here.
Like, if you save a file, if you create a file, where does it go? Where is it stored?
it's probably like, I don't know, a JavaScript person might know, like they have this, I don't, you know.
So
browser
there are
storage.
different storage mechanisms, like there's a database. Different browsers implement it differently, but there's database functionality, there's obviously cookies. But that's all local storage functions.
Yes.
They have to have some, I wonder what they use to back. the
They
file
could just use the browser, like the browser has some, you know, built-in functionality that is exposed to the JavaScript interfaces, and right, and they could just do the same thing under the WebAssembly.
just mimicking a file system.
But well, I don't know if you mimic a file system. Because I mean, I guess it does have a file system interface, we just saw that, so, yeah.
Yeah,
But
it could be
what's-
memory only.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Like, what's that?
The other one, Adam. It's okay. I think when you get up, I didn't put this in my test scripts, but I think once you get up to the PyScript level, then it can talk to JavaScript and use its method to write to the real file system. But I didn't make a
Okay.
sample script of that one.
So
But that's like a
chances are,
side step. It's not going
Right.
down.
okay. So if I were to guess, then it's probably a memory only file system inside the WebAssembly
Yeah, that's my
context. All right. So let me see here. And in fact, here's what they have to say about that.
guess. Oh, there you go. Virtual files.
It's problematic because the browser prevents code from directly accessing files in the host system. And because JavaScript only supports asynchronous file access outside of web workers. So it provides an implementation of libc and libcxx and a virtual file system. So normal C code can be compiled and run without change.
I would love if like every time, if anytime the application needs to write files, it like spawns these download things at the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. The default file system is memfs. So it is a
Okay.
in-memory file system. Okay.
Okay.
And so, and you can back it by other
IDBFS. What is this?
persist in the browser. So that's the browser storage, DB that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Each browser has their own database capability. It's different in each, but
It's not that one. Is it an actual, is that just a generic term or is it, it's actually
no, it's
index
an
DB?
actual product.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
There are also, I gotta look it up just a moment.
Okay.
Um,
Should I keep going?
yeah,
Okay.
come back.
So let's see. So overall, this is Pyodide, right? we're running Python code, but the construction of the document that puts this all together, the packaging of it all is less than ideal. We have lots of mixed up JavaScript with Python embedded. And this is really what PyScript, I think, is intending to solve as an abstraction that cleans up how all this appears. And let's see where we are we here with this. So in the end, PyScript is not changing how things are running. It's still, Pyodide and WebAssembly underneath, which is a clean abstraction. So we want to take a look at our examples. And the very good first example is the Raycaster. Loading runtime. And there you go. This is our first example.
Come on.
For real. Well, okay, so there's a caveat here. And let me bring up the source. Where is it hiding? Under develop, under show page source. Okay. So let's take a look at the code that is driving this cool. Bless you. Still an HTML document. You're still setting up a bunch of stuff. You are importing a script called 3. I wasn't familiar with this, but I went to the website briefly, took a look. So 3 is some sort of graphics, a JavaScript library. And here's PyScript getting loaded and some CSS for that. But now, because we've loaded up PyScript.js, we now have new elements for our DOM, PyScript. And right in here goes our Python code directly. Now, I feel uneasy about putting Python code directly in an HTML document.
Should be an external file.
Should be an external file because of the whole issue with white space.
Yep. Yep.
It's like, I don't know how they're going to get around that, but
Well, I would imagine, well, it's like the pre tag.
yeah. Oh, good point. Yeah, yeah.
Pre is pre-formatted.
Yeah.
The tag pre, that's how
Oh, I
you stylize code blocks.
Right.
As you
So they're actually importing Pyodide.
Yeah.
Yes. So the foreign function interface, so it can talk to JavaScript. So create proxy objects, and then I'm not sure what 2JS. I mean, probably infer from that. And then it imports this JS module, which I suspect is only Pyodide specific. Window, I don't know why it needs math, since it can do math itself. 3, which is, I believe, imported from up above. Yep. Performance and object, and then async IO. So this is using this JavaScript library to handle mouse events, for example, like moving around and rotating the 3D object. So the actual drawing isn't done here, but the manipulation of the canvas is. Setting colors.
So you imported it directly in.
Mm-hmm. So most of this is talking to JavaScript objects. 3, it's being, changed the perspective of the camera, modify it. Set colors, change the background. There's a fog apparently somewhere. Math random, like, I don't know why that needs to be imported separately, like, but maybe for effect. And return set, who's using this one? Down here. Oh, create random cubes, makes sense. Still don't need JavaScript to do that, but maybe the math is faster in JavaScript. I don't know. Icosahedron.
It may just be implementation preference.
True.
It's like, why use Python over JavaScript?
Well, it's obvious, but yeah.
I agree.
And so on. So this is it, right? You're looking at the Python code and it's a mishmash of,
Do you have the async IO library?
yeah, it's in here. And what are they using it for? Let's take a look.
Yep, that's
Sleep. It's a weird thing to use async on.
well, no, what, you look for async.
That-
Just async?
Yeah. That's the only place.
Only place, yeah.
Is that because of I forgot the 2 terms, there's the preemptive
And cooperative.
multitasking and the
Oh
cooperative,
my
yeah.
God, yeah. Good call. Yeah, this must be the actual multitasking.
Mhm.
So it doesn't
Yeah,
block
200ths of a second there.
So you're calling sleep, does that mean you're like releasing it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, browser OS to.
Yep. That's what it looks like. That's interesting.
Wow, yeah, so it is not parallel, it's, no, you have parallel processing and what's the other term, which isn't parallel, but it's not serial.
Code routines.
So, yeah,
Oh, okay.
that-
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
concurrent.
concurrent.
There's concurrency and not parallelism.
Okay.
Which is how browsers work. That's JavaScript.
Mhm. I didn't realize it. I thought browsers were just doing things in a preemptive fashion within its context.
Yeah.
In fact, it's cooperative.
Well,
Makes a lot
per
of sense.
page,
Per page, yeah.
per page, it is concurrency. Between pages. A page is you can think of a page like a process.
Right. I mean, it often is these days anyways, right? You have
Mhm.
multiple Chrome and
It's the
Firefox.
OS.
Mhm.
So you could imagine like a Python server, like Fast API that serves just each Python document. Like you could have your whole web framework that it would then wrap in the appropriate HTML and install PyScript and serve like this,
Yes.
right? So you
Yeah.
could not bother with any JavaScript traditional files or something.
Yeah, and there is actually I haven't seen it, but there was a JavaScript library that did just that. So like you basically just wrote semi-seamless code on the background and the back end for front end JavaScript execution. And so it just it mingled the two, and so it's essentially what you could do with this. It could do something similar. Is you could just write Python for your front end and back end.
Right.
Right, as you know, the backend has a special sort of looking for. It's a special environment. Things are hidden. It's secure.
It's sandboxed.
Sandbox, yeah. It's out of the way of the user. There's no way to do this, right? Other than putting the backend back into place.
Right.
You can actually hide it. Sorry.
So, yeah, I really think this is kind of we're seeing it in its infancy.
Yeah.
But it is bringing more developers into web development.
Yeah.
When I was teaching, this would have been fantastic. I mean, even in an alpha stage, I could use this to do something.
Yeah.
With the students that wouldn't require to, they wouldn't need to install Anaconda or even the standard C Python distro. Just, I come up with something in the web and just do it that way. And they have a canvas they can draw into.
Yeah.
Right. It's like I would have killed for a consistent.
Yeah.
Graphical package that everyone could use, run and use properly.
Right, regardless of what laptop you have.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the
And
Anaconda,
that's the benefit of the browser. Yeah, the browsers are the standardized and
Yeah.
standardization.
What's that, Adam?
I stepped on somebody again. I'm sorry, the delay gets me
fine.
every time.
You're fine.
I've got a link somewhere to the PyCon 22 talk by an Anaconda guy. This is the PyScript is by the Anaconda group, I guess. And the thing in my memory that he kept pushing the most was not just working in the browser, but getting around the installation problems.
Yeah,
So,
Mhm.
so you want to give somebody an application, you don't have to tell them about pip or worry about anything. You just give them anything on a USB stick and they plug it in and it should just run. So that was one of his, I don't know if that was the original purpose, but like that was something they kept pushing. You're like, now we've got real portability. So.
But like, if someone gave me a Python thing on a USB stick, I guess it would be already wrapped in this, so it'd be like
Right.
an HTML file.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I'll show you. In fact, we have some examples of that.
Oh, okay.
Any questions on this thing before I move on? I mean, how pretty it is. Oh, there's fog. I see what it is. It's just faded out in the background.
Mhm.
Neat. All right, we'll get that out of the way. Thank you, Raycaster. This is also can go. And so can this and this. I'll stop there.
browser is turned into a fancy Docker file.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's do a simple hello world example that sort of
I
puts it
actually
on.
think I saw an article on just that. And replace it like Docker going away in some contexts and being replaced by browser applications.
That's what we need, like Kubernetes running browsers.
Coordinating browser context.
What could go wrong?
Yeah. Go wrong.
I made that
Okay.
public at least temporarily now. So if people want to clone it, there's not a whole lot in there, but you can go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so here's a hello world example. Now, this is extremely bare bones, as one would expect for a hello world test. You have your basic HTML tags, your head tag bringing in the PyScript stuff, which I bet if we looked at the full network,
It would be PyIO.
PyO, yeah, and all this stuff coming with it. But nonetheless, that's one simple include.
Yeah.
And here we are writing hello world in HTML and then following with Python beneath. In fact, I want to throw in for I-10 just for fun. Oh, it's so icky. How does indent work here? Does that need to be indented inside the tag?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, like
no, oh, no.
I don't think you can do that. No, but you can do, you've got to start it on the left, I think, or at least I did. They could try it not on the left. I don't know.
I don't know. It hurts. But okay. We'll try like this. I mean, I really want to be further in.
right, because you want to be structured as in your DOM, which is why you needed an external file.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's the word.
So I got to do is double click on it. Eh. Oh, well, look at that.
Oh, it worked.
It worked.
I wonder what I did
And-
wrong. I tried that at first and it didn't work. Maybe, I probably miscounted my spaces or something.
Or you had a combination of spaces and tabs.
I'm going to say, did it do tabs? That would be weird.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So here we are. This worked out.
Now I want you to print HTML, open tag H1,
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
hello.
Yeah, generate HTML from within HTML.
Yeah.
From
Let's
Python.
try.
Python.
Yeah.
Oh, let's try this. Let's try this. For I in range of, how many H1s are there?
How many H's are there?
Or H's, yeah.
I,
5 or 6?
I think I was gonna say six maybe.
Okay, let's try 1, 2, 7. And then 4. Let's see. I in here. Is that good so far? And then. Right. This feels weird.
yeah,
Okay, does that look
Yeah.
reasonable? Let's try it. And go back here and make you go away. Let's run this again. Son of a gun. Wow, this may have just proved its worth. I don't know. That's kind of cool.
Well, we already could really print, wrap HTML and Python code and send it over to the browser, the
Mhm.
server. But I guess you can do it right from
Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty neat. Can we add a blink tag and stuff to it too?
home. I'm sure you can. do
Yeah.
whatever in HTML. So what Python graphical interfaces? There's like WX widgets.
yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. We, Adam and I briefly looked to see if Pygame was ported over.
What would need to be ported?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. There seemed to be support for Pyodide for Pygame. So I'm not sure what that means in terms of supporting PyScript.
Right.
But it looks like people want that to work. So if there are any existing
Yeah,
games.
like porting games to in browser.
Yeah. And that I would, commit a mild
What's that?
crime for teaching.
Right.
But so like Matplotlib. So if you wanted to run if you wanted to make a Matplotlib plot, you'd have to install Matplotlib library.
Well, yes, sorry, I was just going to go back to what we were just talking about. There's already support for C.
Right.
We could
Right.
theoretically
Not just Python.
have anything running in the browser.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep. It depends on the drawing libraries that you have available in there. So like if Pyodide includes a variety of different GL related libraries, then
right.
you can do GL drawing
Yeah.
of widgets.
There's no reason why you couldn't.
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know what's available.
Well, the 3D acceleration.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
if the browser supports that interface to the hardware,
Right.
that's the limiting factor.
But to your point about Matplotlib, so third-party packages.
Yeah.
Now, if things outside the standard library, we can't use pip. What was it called, Adam? Micro pip or something?
Sounds right, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it's used. I think it's instigated somehow through this pyenv env
Okay.
tag.
And that's your requirements.
I think so. Yeah.
So you just enumerate that. Oh, okay.
What I think it's doing is loading up perhaps some WASM libraries is what I think
Yeah.
is going on. And then you can do your import within the code. Maybe?
Well, it might be just taking the source code and compiling it.
I could do, yeah, I don't know. I wish I had some visibility
Yeah,
to see what it's doing.
I wonder how much change needs to happen to stuff like the libraries, as long as it doesn't have C, as long as it's not a C extension.
Mhm.
I would imagine it just runs. It just needs to,
Right. But like.
actually, yeah, it does, it would just need to download. It wouldn't even need to recompile.
Yeah, and this is what
There's
this does
Python.
here. Yeah. In fact, this example does exactly that. So for some reason, I'm not sure what the security measure is here. Yeah, it can't load an external file, a Python file,
within the server.
using a file URL. It has to be
Right.
served from a host.
Okay.
And I'm not sure why that's the case, but apparently we have to do it.
Okay.
So this two-plot example, let's take a peek. We have plot.html. Make this a little bigger, go away. So here we are, here's Matplotlib right here, quote unquote, imported to this thing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mhm.
So NumPy definitely has C extensions.
Yeah.
And so is this just like
There's probably a
a red?
PyPy
Yes. there
for
must be, yeah.
What else is brought in? So script source files. Oh, Adam, how come it needs?
So this one I just did a little different. I stored the files in the files subdirectory there, but you've got to run the server locally to
Hmm,
serve yourself the
But all the code is in one file. You could have done it the other way.
yeah, the first one, the other ones I just did, it grabs them from the web. But if you want to take it out of your file system, you have to run the server.
Oh, I see. Interesting. I suppose that that minimizes threats. Like if you have a
Yeah.
script,
so like a same origin kind of thing.
yeah,
And then that also gives you, this is all client side anyway, but that gives you your portability completely, I guess, right? You don't have to be online. You don't have to be on the web.
Well,
You can put your own PyScript JS in there.
yeah, you have to run the server locally though. But that is kind of it's actually, it would probably be a Node.js server
well,
for the JavaScript of the browser.
Oof. This is Pyodide. Not sure what this is showing exactly. It's all compressed. Here's PyScript. This is also pretty large. Not helpful for what we're doing. So the question is, how does Matplotlib and NumPy get pulled in? It must be part of the PyScript distro or Pyodide.
no, I think that they are.
You think there's oh, I'm sorry, I missed that point. You're
Yeah.
right. That must be what the micropip is doing. It's,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I got you.
But
Okay.
that must really slow down if you have to, like every page load, you have to install your environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look and see. Let's see what this is
So
doing.
I
Maybe
found
it's cached. It's not every page.
on Pyodide, there is a list of packages in Pyodide.
Okay.
Let me run this again.
Oh.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I just reloaded.
Yeah, so there is a list of packages that support that can be loaded in Pyodide
And where is this listed?
on Pyodide.
Oh, okay. Ah. So they're acting as their own PyPI.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, so there you see you downloaded that plug.
Yeah, look, wow. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And you didn't even download it, so you don't have, so it's cached.
Yeah.
And that's even better.
Okay. Pretty neat. Huh. Oh, and by the way, there's our sine curve. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, let's see. And this is written directly to the canvas. And if you look
Yeah.
at the image in a new tab, it's just a data URL.
Uh,
So, right.
Yep.
Sorry, my Zoom thing's in the way, but not for you guys.
Yeah.
So that's it.
What's a data URL? Is that the entire
The entire image.
really long
I-
URL that's encoded?
Okay. It's a
PNG?
string encoded, yeah,
Okay.
image.
Let's see. So that's pretty neat.
So
Okay.
I guess the advantage there, I'm not sure, but I guess the advantage there is that if you want to distribute stuff, you could run, like now you're in control of the version of PyScript that you put in there, right? Rather than grabbing it from.
Right.
Is that why you
Oh,
would want to do it? That's what I assumed, but I don't know.
Yeah, if you want to freeze the version you're using, you want to pin
But
it.
you can pin those with CDNs.
Oh, that's true.
I'm not sure what. Just if you want it self-contained, I guess. I mean, no, it still needs to pull in the packages, so it's not self-contained.
Yeah, yeah, I guess it's really sort of irrelevant if it's pulling down a bunch of
Yeah.
other stuff. You might as well just get it from the CDN. So example number 3 here is a REPL that I guess, so I'm gonna have to copy this. Give me a second here. Copy some code. Try this out. Okay. So this is a slightly more complicated. Here we are importing matplotlib and NumPy. Looks pretty standard as we saw already. We have various divs for outputs. One's for error, one for output, one for errors and warnings. So we're declaring divs as sort of output channels from our Python code. Now there is no Python code here. It's a special tag, PyREPL. And we specify the divs for our standard outs. We're basically hooking in standard in and standard out and standard error.
And
It's really cool.
I bet if you looked into it, that you could create your own tags, like creating controls.
Oh yeah, I would say so. That'd be kind of cool. Let's bring up the REPL.
This is such a heavy thing. It's really cool, but I mean, it's not really just standard out. You can see it's
Right.
anything you do goes to this output, and it's supposed to just
Right.
handle
It's all
whatever
browser.
magically.
Yeah, it's all browser, but you have all of the like you can, with Canvas, you can do, like we were saying with the 3D, you can do anything. It's just a matter of performance. And I
Yeah.
think that'll come over time.
And Adam and I were thinking about how to make this an interactive graph. I can't remember how to do that.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Matplotlib.
Yeah.
Ion.
Oh. Yeah, there's like Plotly and
Oh yeah, they have examples on the website we need to go to and see as well. Yeah. Oh, the Mario example. There's a Super Mario clone. That's,
Nice.
I think that cheats a little bit because there's not a whole lot of Python in that one.
Yeah.
But this is still pretty straightforward. I can see Jupyter, sort of being done entirely in this.
yeah.
And Jupyter I love as a prototyping environment. But the problem is it's difficult to keep installations of Python and Jupyter straight
Yeah.
because it gets confused pretty quickly. If you have conflicting versions of Python underneath, the kernel gets confused. It'd be nice if everything's nice and self-contained and loaded. It's already in the browser, so I'm not losing anything native. It's just there. And WASM actually runs at near native speeds, from what I understand.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a pretty neat thing about it. Oh yeah, what else we got? Anybody else want to try? You want to plot something different? Let's do that. Let's find a better plot than this. Matplotlib examples. What are we doing? Just go here. I know they have examples. Let's see. Interactive. Sure. This that looks too confusing. Oh, I don't know what that's for. I see, kind of like UI almost. Subplot statistics, PyPlot. Dylan, which one were you mentioning?
mine is Plotly, so.
Oh, Plotly. Yeah, separate. Okay. I think there's a separate one for that one. We can go to. Just wanted to find animation. Yeah. Oh, yeah. These are good. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Here's a histogram. Who doesn't like a good histogram? Can we do this?
There's a show source on the right. I wonder if that suits you.
Oh, it's a REST file.
Oh.
Just the wrong kind of source, unfortunately. Okay, let me copy this. Where are we? You reload this just in case. Okay, first step, import stuff. I'm not sure if this import is needed. So I'm suspecting micropip does its thing and must import it. Okay, let's run that.
No.
Yeah, showing output and errors is kind of funky. We noticed that if there's like an exception raised, it doesn't always show up here.
Open the terminal.
Yeah, it does show up in the console. What's this? Not sure what that is. Well, there's nothing to show. Everything's just assignment.
Right, but if you run it again, does it produce an error?
No, and it's not error.
Just doing nothing. So I'll throw in a definition in here. We'll make this uber long. See if it likes this. Oh, okay. So there seems to be a problem with timers. So there's a timer needed for the for the animation. And where did it fail? Doesn't quite tell you. So timer WASM object has no attribute underscore timer. Okay, well, it tried to do it and couldn't. That's worth a shot.
If you watch the video from PyCon, the link is at the end here. It's really a good, it's like 40 minutes or something, and it's really interesting. He does some other impressive stuff with animation in there too. So some stuff does just work, but
Yeah, and I mean, this may be something that requires just a mild tweaking of the code to make it go. Yeah, I have your links at the end of the slides, Adam. So PyRepl has visual representations that build on top of CodeMirror. I didn't know what CodeMirror was. Bring this up.
Oh,
Okay. So basically, text editor. Got it. Okay. And Adam, I think you forgot a DOM in that title. You were trying to do a DOM.
Oh, you're right. I did.
I added one. So WebAssembly apparently doesn't allow direct interaction with the DOM in the browser, so which accessing JavaScript objects in Python is possible thanks to PyDID's proxy objects. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And this facilitates translation between both languages. There are two ways to use them for DOM manipulation of PyScript. And I'm not sure what does this example cover both, Adam?
I don't remember. At least one.
You know what? I bet this is pre DOM, like all the WASM stuff is probably generating the HTML, not run after it's generated.
But I don't. Okay. So you think somewhere hidden there's still HTML going on?
Well, it's all producing HTML. It's
it's
the browser UI.
Yeah, it's producing it's producing the experience, but I don't know if HTML is involved.
Well, it's still all of the browser components. With the drawing panel, the canvas. So it's canvas panel. It's still HTML inputs and divs. That is still the language of the UI that you're using.
Okay, I'm thinking on the other end of the step, where like the WASM thing is not, it's not outputting HTML that's handing over to the HTML renderer of the browser to figure out how to display it, right?
No, it's WASM is feeding the HTML renderer. Yeah.
It doesn't have its own renderer.
It's part of think of it more as part of the renderer. It is, you are able to inject code that dynamically generates HTML in the browser.
Like we do with the H1 tag.
Like we do with the H1 tags. That is WASM.
Okay.
So it's just producing text, it's output, right?
Yeah.
So whatever WASM computes, it's just bytes.
How I was, okay.
Just the fact that we can take the output bytes from a WASM process and feed it straight into the renderer.
I would feel that would have to be less efficient. Rather than having like a native, like when a normal Python running on the computer draws something on a display, it uses a display library and display primitives and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And this doesn't have any of that.
Well, it is, those interfaces are translated into Canvas, writing to Canvas.
Right. Right. there's that translation and then reparsing all that HTML.
But it doesn't necessarily have all of the same parts, like it only has, like, the IO parts. It has to offload some of it, so not all of Python is there.
Yeah,
But all of the pieces that you interact with could potentially be there still. Even if it isn't backed by the same thing, because it's a different context, it's a different OS.
no, yeah. But I was imagining like, the browser is the OS, and so Python is, like I said, doing like there's a whole separate pathway to draw things on the.
I got you.
But
Yeah, I don't think, I think it's leveraging still the UI
But I feel like that would be
primitives.
not performance.
But I don't know, because like the way that I've seen a lot of UI defined is XML.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
It's pre-compiled,
Yeah,
like,
okay.
but you can do that dynamically.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that that's how a lot of dynamic UIs are.
In fact, for Mac OS, interface descriptions were done using what are called ZIBs,
Yeah.
XML interface builder files.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Windows is the same.
Yeah.
I forget what it was called, but yeah.
but in the end, it does sort of pull in the binary components that, the
Yeah.
widgets and whatnot,
Yeah.
NS text editor or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, the full implementation of this is interesting. I'm not sure. And performance-wise, that's a great question.
Yeah,
You know,
and obviously having to download everything,
Yeah.
if you don't already have it cached, it takes some time to load.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so this example is Python Easter Planet. That's pretty cool. Okay. This sets up other basic stuff, PyScript. And
How good is the audio coming through, Adam, Mitch? Can you hear our conversations?
I can hear
Yeah.
everybody. Yep.
Yeah, I
Cool.
hear
I was
fine.
just curious how the recording will come out.
Right.
Yeah, it sounds good. Yeah.
So,
all right, so we have a div here and a button. ID change me and some starting text of what's better than RocPy. Nothing. And PyScript starts here. We import. Interesting, have to import pyodide. Why are we importing pyodide?
maybe to get access to.
Create
Oh, it's
proxy.
that proxy. Okay.
You probably don't
Ah,
have, like, unless you say use pyodide, you probably don't have access to the methods of pyodide.
okay, that makes sense. It is a Python program after all. So on click, take document element passed in E and change its text contents. Okay, so we're taking the button and changing the context when we press the button. So we have event handling going on. E target inner HTML to nothing. Oh, there you go. There's the answer. Nothing. And then change me element. We get the element by ID. So document, is document automatic or did we have to pull that in from somewhere?
Well, it's probably just like, that's a normal browser context. Document is
Right.
probably still. Document
So it comes for free inside PyScript then.
A document element path in E.
I mean, that's JavaScript. That, the right side of that equal sign,
Right,
I'm just saying by the way the case is,
Yeah,
camel
yeah.
case.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It's a JavaScript callback semantics. Yeah. So on
Yeah.
click and this is the event.
Yeah, but where did document come from?
I don't know. And I find it unsettling. Right back to my point about why do you have to import pyodide but not document?
But not document, yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And elements there too, yeah. Oh, no, change me element, sorry.
Yeah, change me elements. Okay, that one's okay, right? And then we add event listener. Ugh. Yeah, not yeah.
But also the, oh, never mind.
Click.
Okay.
Okay, so this is creating, I'm guessing a Python or a JavaScript proxy object from a Python function.
Yeah.
Pass in on click, create a proxy, pass it back to the JavaScript runtime, and then it could do cool stuff with it.
Which, okay, that makes sense that it's JavaScript
Mhm.
syntax, because it's JavaScript objects that are being manipulated within a Python function.
Put a semicolon at the end of that line.
This does feel a little dirty overall, that's for sure. Let's see. Oh yeah, let's run it. See where this goes.
I read that would load.
Yeah,
But
Well-
that would, like, the context switching there is challenging.
terrible, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so here's our button, and there's some label here. Nothing. Pretty neat.
It did nothing.
It quite literally nothing. Let's see what the console is. Did you actually want me to add a semicolon?
Sure.
Okay. Let's see, and which line?
The JavaScript line there.
7?
Well, yeah, relative to where your current cursor is.
Oh. Sorry.
Counting from.
What is with your numbering there?
Yeah, you can do it. You can, I had done that for a while.
It's Vim relative numbering.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
if I want
God.
to get this HTML tag, it's plus 11, it's 11 plus.
Oh, that's neat. Okay.
If I want to get back to,
11.
yeah, 11, so 11 minus. And I jump there.
Oh, that's clever. I like it. Okay.
Yeah. And at the end, where,
Yeah,
right here?
yeah.
Okay.
No, semicolon.
Semicolon. That should be valid.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, that's valid Python. Let me
But
try.
you're in a
Oh,
PyScript.
it's valid Python?
So Python will,
Oh, you're right.
yeah, so if you,
Oh, yeah.
this is
It
one classic
Yeah.
example.
That's what I'm
Oh,
thinking too.
yep, yes, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
All right. never
I
mind.
use that all the time.
Yeah,
Don't forget to save it though, Rich.
well, it's not gonna be an interesting.
Okay.
So just what, Adam? Save it?
You put the semicolon and you didn't save. I don't know if we were doing an experiment there.
Yeah,
But
let's put it. Yeah, it's put in. Should work.
it'd be interesting if it crashes it.
Get rid of that. Okay. No issues here in the console.
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah, seems to work. Neat. Oh. Okay. And our last example. So this one's persistency. Is this
Yeah, it's
The
sort of pseudo. It's persistent in the browser in the memory file system. No, it's not. I'm sorry. It's not in the memory file system. It's like a Redis-like setup in the browser that JavaScript, I guess, knows, but JavaScript uses very natively. So it's
Is
just
it-
key value pairs that you can store in the browser,
so local storage?
and they don't have an expiration time, unlike I don't know what, cookies or whatever.
Okay, so it's probably using local storage then. Could be using session storage, but let me see. Let's take a look. All right, so this is the 5th example here. Go away. Log rocket. So what are the examples? What's going on in here? There's PyScript, CSS, everything's starting well here, text area. Save button on click handler will call def save comment from local storage.py, which we have as a separate module. Do I need to run the HTTP server for this one?
Don't think
Let's
so.
find out.
Seems like you should, but I don't think so.
Okay.
Give it
So
a
here
try.
we execute local storage.py every time we load the web page. So instead of putting the script verbatim in here between tags,
Yeah.
we can actually specify a source.
Oh yeah, so you
Which is-
probably do need to run it, but I don't know. See what happens.
Try it. Let's see what the source looks like.
You type it in the file.
I'm sorry, in here?
Yeah, local storage.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so it is, okay, that's pretty neat. So you can actually access the local storage object. So set item. Oh, wow. I do like that. Okay, let's run it.
Oh, you do have to run the server. Yeah, I guess that makes
loads
sense.
the
Yeah.
other. Okay, no problem. Let's go back here. And this
Yeah, I
is,
guess that would have been magic if it worked without the server, right?
okay. God's sake. Okay. Localhost. Was it 8,000?
Yeah. Let's bring up storage. It's local storage. So we should expect to see a key value pair pop up here. So, ooh, bar, ooh. There it is. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
So now you would close it and open it up again and it would still be there. Right?
Yeah, let's find out. Yeah, look at that.
And I
No
guess
need-
what in the session storage that would vanish when you reload, is that right? Or
Yeah, I think session storage is per tab, I think,
okay.
for instance. And I think local storage is shared amongst all tabs. I don't know if there's domain controls on local
I
storage.
think there is.
I would hope so, right?
Jump to another
there is.
tab and can you jump to any other tab and just see if it comes up?
Oh, what the heck did I just do?
Uh-oh.
What is this? Must be Zoom doing something. Okay, let me try this. Let's pick something easy. It doesn't matter. No, just go to Google. It's meant to load quick, right? Storage. Doesn't even show up. Yeah,
Hmm.
so. Because it's not their local host. Their session storage there. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's pretty neat. So there's persistency by way of using the browser. So we're leveraging the browser for the facilities it provides, which makes total sense. That's it. Well, these are our local examples. And any questions on these? Go away. Okay. So what I want to play around with is the Mario example. Let's bring that up. So here are the references. Adam mentioned the PyCon 2022 video. It's linked here on Vimeo. PyScript has an extensive set of examples on their page and a few other links here that we can take a look at. Oops. Well, let's bring up Mario. What?
Huh?
Yeah. What? How'd I get to Apple?
Is the link wrong?
Possible. Yeah. Let's see. That was linked off of the PyScript website, wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't think it was a PyScript. You might have to Google it. I can find it, but that's really weird. Did I seriously put an Apple link in there?
No, I might have done that when
Oh,
setting
and you
up.
copied it over. Okay. Mhm.
I might have linked it wrong, but I thought it was in here. Oh, and here are the other things that Dylan was talking about, interactive. Let's try this one. Is it bokeh? I hear people give all sorts of alternative.
Yeah, I found it, I think.
Now drop it in the chat. Oh yeah, this one didn't work for me. This one would be broken. I don't know.
Let's see if I can find it. Oh yeah. It took a long time to load for me, which I guess kind of makes sense. Here, I'll put it in the Zoom chat. Oh, Gabe mentioned, he said he's been here before, but his mic isn't on.
Cool. Ooh, nice. Yeah. So what do we
The last one
change
is
here?
interactive. That was one of the things we were hoping to do with Matplotlib, right?
Oh yeah, look at that. I just zoomed in.
You can change the function too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, oh, so just the last one. You can where?
Left side PZ equals.
Oh, right here.
using-
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I don't know what, what would produce meaningful
Z
results here.
squared or I don't know.
Let's try that.
Change of power.
To the fourth.
Interesting.
It's a nice shade of
Oh,
peach.
no, you know what? You're zoomed in.
Zoomed in, yeah. Shoot, how do I zoom out?
Uh-oh.
Maybe the XY. Yeah. Oh, hey, Mario,
Yeah,
where's,
I'll come back to it, yeah.
okay.
So the Mario one's interesting. I'm not quite sure how to qualify it, how it's created. Let's see, fourth, oh, neat.
Yeah.
Fifth. Okay.
So,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Index DB is now pretty much the standard for in-browser DB.
Okay.
Cool.
What's it called, Josh?
Index DB.
Index DB. Okay.
So this one,
The only thing that doesn't support is Opera Mini.
Opera Mini. Who uses Opera Mini?
Yeah, no, this is a very useful, like.
Yep.
There should be audio in here too.
So are you telling me that there's already a Python Mario?
That's what I'm doubting. I looked at the elements at the source and I didn't see a whole lot of,
No, but it's WASM.
yeah, PyScript.
It does.
Like you can see all these JavaScript elements being brought in. So unless these are WASM or something,
Yeah, those are suspicious. Goomba, mushroom.
yep.
There's Python.
But the Python's handling the gameplay.
Oh, okay.
Nifty.
So-
Okay, so like the graphical elements are JavaScript.
Must be like the Koopa. You make an instance of Mario, dot Koopa or something. Okay,
Well, you're
paratrooper.
setting it to Mario.
Set
you're
to
setting
Mario, yeah.
That Koopa.
Yeah, so this looks to be pure JavaScript anyway. So
Never liked that syntax. That this equals this equals this. It was always very confusing
Yeah.
to the eye.
you can do that in Python too.
No, that is Python, isn't it? Oh no,
No, it's JavaScript. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it always throws me off. I always look for the this.
Yeah.
I thought there's audio of this, but let me see if the audio turned on. Sorry to shut off. I don't know how it turns it on. So the gameplay, some of the graphics. Boop. Hello.
Good.
Can I go down?
Can I go down? Where's your geek cred? Don't you know this?
It's
Oh my God.
it's been years.
Don't go
I used to be-
down.
I-
Don't go down. No,
Why
you
not?
have to get the one up.
Oh, the one up. Okay. Well,
Too late.
yeah, that's great. I actually played this recently. So on the Nintendo Switch, you can download an emulator for all the classic NES games.
Sure.
And one of the fantastic features of it is rewind. So if you get killed,
Oh.
you can actually rewind, multiple frames of the animation and go back to where you were. I used to play this. Yeah. I can't defend myself at the moment, no matter what I say. And it's scrolling the page
That is.
if I use up and down accidentally,
Oh.
which is confusing.
I do have audio, really loud audio when I play it.
I had it
online.
yesterday when I tried it. Yeah, but
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure why I'm not hearing it now. And this is very awkward with the X button. Whoop. And I sucked it. Okay.
Well, you don't have it's missing a button.
It is. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Start
No
video.
castle.
What?
No castle at the
No,
end.
don't allow it.
Well, we got to see what it's going to do. Okay. Yeah. Hello. Now, let's never for this site. Maybe that's good. All right. And what else we got for examples here? Freedom units. Deck GL demo. Oh, GL is always a good. Are we doing? Oh, we're almost at 9.
Yeah.
Look at that. Okay. does this do?
Oh, that's a slow loader too. I think it comes up with some 3D. There you go.
Oh, neat. Wow.
You can zoom in on that somehow. Mouse wheel.
Radius. Oh, yeah, look at that. Okay, elevation. Just changing the bars. Okay, over time, traffic data, I see. I get it now.
You can zoom in there pretty smoothly, I think. Yeah, there you go.
Alphabet City. The part of New York I have no clue about. I'm such a Western New Yorker. Okay, that's a good example. Simple panels, panel widgets. That's good. It'll be interesting to see how this is constructed. Is it actually using the toolkit or using HTML? We saw this already. That's right. This just changes. So what is this? Custom. Looks like a styled div. Okay. Fair enough. There's something called PyConfig. Oh, interesting. I don't see any Python code in here.
Well. No.
Right? Or do you,
No.
oh, here it is, PyScript. Yeah, it's a little hard to read. Which is the other problem too, right? Just the same issue we have with JavaScript. If you throw your code right in along with HTML, it's a big mess. So having everything as external assets is a smart idea. Okay, well, any other examples? Matt, I keep calling you Matt. Adam.
Whatever.
Okay. No, not whatever. You can't accept that. You gotta call me whatever you want. No. Okay. Adam.
Yeah, no,
I show off.
that's all I've got. I didn't
wanna
find anything
see,
else.
I want to see a game that's been imported, at least with like Pyodide. All right. Pyodide.
I'm working on this, Rich knows this Py game thing with my kid. And I didn't have time to even start it because I know it won't just work, but I would love to get that or part of it in the browser. If I do, I'll mention it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if you did that. You can let us know. Okay, so here's Conway's game of life as a Pyodide. Not using the nice constructs of PyScript, but that's not really the point here. Can I manipulate? Can I zoom? Nope, I can't zoom. I can move it. Cool. So sky's the limit. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you letting me do this off the cuff presentation, and thanks, Adam, for putting together the notes that I used today.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice job.
So
Rich.
oh, thank you, Adam. Nice job to you too.